Hi guys, so today we will be talking about the requirements to get bariatric surgery and everything I went through as far as my appointments. So, my very first appointment took place in December. I don't remember the exact date, but I believe it was somewhere around the end of December. Um, and uh, the very first thing I did was went online and did my research about bariatric surgery. I found out that there were three major different kinds. Most people either get gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, or gastric band. And I didn't feel too comfortable with the idea of a band or anything restricting my stomach. That just sounds painful and it sounds kind of old fashioned. And gastric bypass, I don't think I was quite big enough for gastric bypass, maybe. And I'm not really too into the whole rearranging of the organs thing. So, gastric sleeve was the most, feels like the most efficient option for me. Basically, what they will be doing is going in and removing 80% of your stomach, and then the rest is left to look like a banana. Anyway, getting on with the process. So I went to a meeting where the surgeons came out and discussed the process, like an information session. And then I filled out some paperwork. They verified my insurance would cover the procedure. And then the doctor office called me back a few weeks later, told me to come in for my first appointment. I came in for that appointment. And what they do is weigh you, of course, check your blood pressure, of course. And then we discuss kind of like weight loss goals. And then we also, I was told that I would have to be on a diet and exercise program for either 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. And this is where things got a little shaky because it seems the doctor office never knew how long I was supposed to be on the program. I called my insurance and verified that the insurance didn't have a timeline, and it was more so up to the doctor office. So the doctor office took full advantage of that and made me come to a year worth of appointments. However, I just had surgery on December 26th, so it was all worth it. But my first appointment, from what I can remember, of course, I was weighed, and then we discussed the diet and exercise. The doctor office went over some helpful apps like Fitness Pal, which allows you to track how much you're eating. And then they put me on like a 1,500 calorie diet starting out just to see how I would do on that. And then I told them what I would do is 30 minutes of walking a day for exercise. Nothing too strenuous because I'm not really the gym gal. So I did that first appointment. Then my second appointment was more so like a fitness appointment where I came in and we did a little bit of training on the elliptical just to kind of see where my breathing was at, tenacity or whatever. And then we did some stretching. So my very third appointment was supposed to be like my check-in to see if I lost any weight. And then we went over what I've been eating and exercising. I had a appointment where I did an endoscopic procedure at the hospital where they go in with a camera to check your stomach, make sure that you'll be an eligible candidate for surgery. I also had an appointment where I went to see a therapist. I would say that probably was my most annoying appointment out of all of them because it's a guy drilling you, asking you questions that you kind of feel sometimes that they don't even pertain. None of them pertain to you. Stuff like, have you ever smoked marijuana in your life? Like, who hasn't? Um, what else? Oh, are you an emotional eater? And it's kind of frustrating when you explain your whole situation in the beginning, but they still have to ask those questions. I guess they're just doing their job. But I was not an emotional eater at all. I actually don't like to eat when I get upset. What happened was I took birth control shot and gained a bunch of weight, and then my hormones went out of whack, and I was diagnosed to have PCOS symptoms. So that just all led to 100-pound weight gain within the last past, like, I would say probably about 5 to 7 years. So that's kind of what happened. But anyway, yeah, that was the therapist appointment. And then after they finished drilling you and asking you all those questions, they put me on a computer to answer like additional like 100 thousand questions. And so I was just like, oh my God. For that appointment, if you have anything else to do, exit out. Just focus on the therapist that day. So that was that appointment. And then let's think of what else I ended up doing. I had an appointment where we did a bone density test. This was more so towards the end of my appointments. I kept following up, had appointments where I had to keep following up, talking about what I ate, exercise. Those were just getting really annoying because I felt like the doctor office was just having me come for every little thing. I understand, doing all the appointments that, they want to check and make sure everything healthy, but those diet and exercise programs, especially when the insurance didn't have a timeline, and for me to have to come there for a year, that did start to get kind of annoying. So towards the end of everything, I did meet with my surgeon twice and his nurse practitioner once. So in the beginning, when I met with my surgeon, he just asked me if I had any questions, went over what's going to happen. That was a pretty easy appointment. Now towards the end, just right before surgery in November, I met with him like 2 weeks prior. And then we did the same thing, kind of go over everything. I ended up having to get I had a dermal in my face. I had to get that removed because believe it or not, if you leave anything metal or have anything metal on, you could catch on fire on the table. Your face, that would be tragic. So I went and got that taken out immediately because I didn't want nothing jeopardizing me getting this procedure. And then what else did I do? Met with the nurse practitioner. What she did was we went over all the medications I had been taking. And then we made sure she pretty much took me off of everything except vitamins. And then she prescribed some new stuff. Not really a big fan of medicine, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm kind of still working on that. Just trying to make sure I get enough water in, vitamins in. But basically, it was a year-long worth of all sorts of different appointments. And for anybody that thinks that weight loss surgery is taking the easy way out, I'm going to have you know right now. After you finish going to all those appointments, it's nowhere by any means the easy way out. And that's not even the beginning of it, because after you had the procedure, you'll see my other video where I did days 1 through 7 showing you what it was like. I'm not going to say it was hell. I'm not going to say it was so treacherous nobody can do it. No, by any means I'm not saying that. But what I will say is you're going to have some different pains, some gas pains sometimes. It's different for everybody though. Mine, I think I handle pain pretty well. And with the help of hydrocodone and acetaminophen, I handle it great. So, yeah, that's pretty much my process. Let's see. I also have a bag that I wanted to show you guys that I got from the weight loss clinic. Just give me a moment here. They gave me. Just get this out without tearing up my little backdrop. But yeah, so I live in Charlotte, and so where I went was to the Carolina Medical Weight Loss Center, and this is the little bag they gave me. They also gave me some resistance bands and some water bottles. Oh, a water bottle. It was a real nice water bottle that I never saw again. I don't know if I took it to work to try to keep up with my water intake and someone stole the bottle, but I never seen it again, so I had to get my own. Try to keep up with trying to get at least 64 ounces of water in a day. So, yeah, that's what it took for me to get my surgery. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Till next time, loves, goodbye.